Yo, welcome back to another YouTube video. My name's KD Domo. Hello. Please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Click right there. Thank you very much and enjoy this video. It isn't really a vlog today. It is like a halftime chat about what I think has gone well for certain clubs and what hasn't gone well for certain clubs. So let's get started. So we'll start with we're doing just the Premier League and the Championship. So the Premier League, Liverpool have started so well. Obviously under the new manager, Arne Slot. Obviously when he took over in July or June, whenever it was at the end of last season, when Klopp left, all Liverpool fans, I'm sure, would have said, I just want us to, be top 5, top 4. And I think they would have taken that because, with the squad that they had, under Klopp, it felt like it was not aging, but, it might have needed some more fresh ideas into the club, like player-wise. Not manager-wise, but player-wise. So, obviously, when Slot didn't sign anyone really. I can't remember if they've signed anyone. I don't think they have, to be fair. But, he's inherited a fantastic squad under Klopp. To be fair, I, for one, thought, even being a Leeds fan, I thought they might have needed, a fresh pair of legs in midfield, maybe a fresh idea up top, a centre-back to replace Matip. But they didn't. They decided to go for what they've got and see how far they can take it. And at the moment, half-time of the Premier League season, they are sat top of the league. Top of the league. But is that due to the fact that Manchester City have fallen off? It could be slightly, but even still, Liverpool have still had to perform as well as they have done to be top of the league. Chelsea and Nottingham Forest are doing really well as well. To be fair, I thought Chelsea were going to be top 7, top 6, but never thought they were going to be, potentially, an outsider to challenge the title. But, if you look at City, they're, 7th in the league. They've not been the greatest so far this season, haven't they? But like I said, with Liverpool, back to Liverpool, they haven't really signed anyone. And do I think they will sign anyone this January? I don't think they will. I think they might sell a couple of their fringe players or loan a couple of their fringe players, or under 21 players to let them gain experience in that. But apart from that, I think Arne Slot will just continue to do what he's doing at the moment. The top of the Champions League, the new Champions League format, the top of that, they've got 2 more games in that league phase, and then they're in the last 16. But if you said to any Liverpool fan, they would have taken this straight away at the start of the season. If you said to them at the start of the January, you'll be top of the league going into the new year, all Liverpool fans would say 100% take it on the chin, and they would be like amazed by doing that. Forest, unbelievable. Chris Wood, what a player. Chris Wood, can you come back to Leeds United for us, please? Leeds United want Chris Wood, Nottingham Forest. That's from my point of view. We need to sign Chris Wood. But Chris Wood, you're an absolute legend. Remember that. But with this is the opposite to what Manchester United are doing at the moment. Forest and Bournemouth and certain clubs like that have got players that suit their system. But at the moment, because Manchester United have just sacked one manager and replaced him with another manager, and that other manager wants to play one way and one way only, with a 3-4-1-2 or whatever it is, 90 times of the 100 times, like 90% of the players don't suit that style of play. So the owners of Manchester United need to give Ruben enough time to basically get rid of the dead wood or get rid of the players that he doesn't feel suit his system, and bring on in actual players that suit that style of system. So, for example, for me, I don't think Rashford suits the style. I don't even think Garnacho suits the style. Well, Ahmed does to a degree, but he doesn't at the same time. But they need to find players that suit the system, and then once they've found the players that suit the system, they can upgrade to the better players. So, for example, they need to just get a better striker, and I'll tell you who they should get, Manchester United fans. Is Victor Gregorius. He's been on instant fire. I know he's only playing in the Portuguese league, but he did really well for Coventry when he was in the Sky Bet Championship. And I know you guys are going to say that's it only in the Championship. But if he's done so well at Coventry, so well at Sporting Lisbon, give him that opportunity. What's the worst that can happen? But I'm sure it won't be worse than, playing Anthony week in, week out on the wing, or playing Xerxes down the middle, half the time when Højlund's injured, or if he wants to play two strikers. So that's what I would do. And, maybe have one season where, basically Ruben just puts, a post out onto Manchester United's page and goes, look, next season is going to be, a trial and error kind of season where we basically sell all of our players that we can try and sell, replace them with all the players that we can, give them a bedding in period, and take it from there. Because at the moment, they're swapping and changing managers and not being funny. If I'm a manager and I, say like I want to play a 4-2-3-1, and I've got players that only suit a 3 at the back or a 5 at the back, what am I supposed to do if all that I know is playing 4 at the back? You know what I mean? Or playing 2 strikers instead of 1 striker. Tottenham, however, need to definitely strengthen in centre-back. I feel sorry for all their injury problems, but they need to strengthen in January. Whether or not they're going to decide, for example, say to Archer Gray, look, you've done fantastic at centre-back, but to basically improve the system and improve the centre-back area, we're going to put you on loan to Everton or Brighton or somewhere like that. Get them to play you in centre midfield and try and actually sign a proper centre-back that can, do a not better job than you, Archer Gray, because I think you've done a fantastic job, but to basically, because that's their position, if you know what I mean. So they're always committed to play centre back. Whereas Archie, you're an absolute legend, but you want to play centre mid. But yeah, that's what I would try and do. I'll try and find maybe a centre back that you could potentially get on loan to the end of the season. But to be fair, I do feel sorry for Tottenham in theory with getting so many injuries. However, when you've got so many injuries and you've got, players playing out of position, like a centre midfielder playing centre back, you've got, a right back playing centre back, you've got a left back playing left wing, you've got this player playing that position, and you've got a backup goalkeeper that can't, isn't good on the ball at all. Like, against Manchester United, he conceded 3 goals, and 2 of them 3 goals were costly because of his errors. So when obviously you've got a player that, can't play your system, you either decide to go for your third choice goalkeeper, or if you want to play that goalkeeper, you decide to tweak the system. Whether or not it's like 100% tweak, or just say every time the goalkeeper gets the ball, he'll always pop it long or whatever, and then all the other areas of the pitch still play the same system. But at the moment, you conceded 2 against Wolves, 3 against Man U, 4 against so-and-so, 5 against so-and-so, 6 against so-and-so. The only good result that you've probably had in this past few months is when you battered Manchester City 4-0. But now you can see it's not really a shock to beat 4-0 against Manchester City, when obviously Manchester City missing Rodri, De Bruyne's been out for a few months. So they need to improve. So I feel like Liverpool are doing really well, but the only reason why, for example, Forest are in the top four, Chelsea potentially are in the top four, is because they've got a structure, a formation in place that they're basically, if someone gets injured, they replace him straight away. If someone gets injured or, suspended or isn't fully fit, they replace him straight away. Whereas with Manchester United, Manchester City, at the moment, they've not got the players to fulfill the potential. So, for example, with Rodri, he's the best player in the world. Obviously, it's a bit of a downgrade if you decide to put, Calvin Phillips or, Bernardo Silva or someone like that, because, not being funny, Rodri is the best player in the position and the best player in the world. But if you're missing Rodri, you need to kind of find a balance in place. Maybe play two holding midfielders and then three and then one, instead of playing, one holding, two number 8s, and then two wingers and a striker. Because at the moment, Kevin De Bruyne's not he's not playing the best at the moment. Rodri is obviously injured. Diaz is injured. Stones is injured. So I feel sorry for most of the teams with injuries. But to be fair, yeah, you kind of just have to grin and bear it. You know what I mean? West Ham, you don't see them feeling sorry for themselves. But I think, in theory, if I was West Ham, I would have kept David Moyes, because David Moyes took you to a European Cup final, took you to 7th in the Premier League. Obviously, you might have not liked his style of play, you might have not, but until you've got the players that suit you to go up to the next standard, you need to just, understand that what David Moyes did was so good. And it could go so wrong if you decided, for example, now you lost 5-0 against Liverpool. Obviously, Liverpool are insane, and Mo Salah's probably having the season of his career at the moment, to be fair, in my opinion. But, yeah. However, guys, Leeds United are the best team in the world. Leeds United are the best team in the world. And I tell you, if we were in the Premier League this season, guys, we would not lose at home all season. We're a different animal at Elland Road than away from home. Away from home, we might get battered 6-0 against City, or 6-0 against Manchester United, or 6-0 against Chelsea. But at home, we'd probably win every single game, or at least not lose any game at home, or maybe one or two. Luckily against Brentford or Brighton or Chelsea, you know what I mean? The odd goal here and there we might lose against these teams, but we wouldn't get battered. If you watched our match against Derby, you saw our winning goal. We played some wonderful stuff in that build-up for that winner. Away to Derby as well. That's a big 3 points in our pursuit to win promotion back to the Premier League. I so hope. To be fair, me being a Leeds United fan, it's kind of, we have to finish in the top 2. If we don't finish in the top 2, we do not get promoted, because we struggle in the playoffs. It's we could, we could be 100 points clear of 4th, 5th, 6th, but finish 3rd. We'll still bloody struggle and get knocked out of the, playoffs and lose in the final or semi-final. But, yeah, Bamford, unfortunately, I feel like if we do get promoted, it'll be time for him to move on. Even in January, I might, if we could get someone like Josh Sargent in, I might decide to, get Josh Sargent in instead of Patrick Bamford, but you know what I mean. So, as we are going into the new year, the other clubs that potentially have a chance of winning promotion as, top 2 contenders, or, winning the title contenders. We're not talking about the playoffs at the moment, but the top 2, I would believe it's between us, aka Leeds, Sheffield United, Burnley, Sunderland, and do I think that's it? Yeah, I think that's it at the moment. But clubs that could have a say in the future, if they go on a good run, are clubs such as Luton, Middlesbrough, Millwall, Blackburn are doing well. To be fair, they're overachieving. Not being funny, Blackburn end of last season, I thought the start of this season when Sammy Smodics was leaving, I thought Blackburn were in a dogfight for relegation. I thought they were going to be struggling to stay in the Championship, but to be fair, they could get promoted if they continue this run. And that's why I've always said John Eustace is a very, very, very good manager in the Championship. I don't know what he'll be like in the Premier League because obviously he's not experienced the Premier League at the moment. But for Championship level, he's been unbelievable. He's been unbelievable, Jeff. And Sunderland, to be fair, I was watching someone on TikTok and someone was saying that Sunderland, they think Sunderland will run clear of the Championship. But I knew they wouldn't. I thought they were going to be mid-table, but to be fair, playoffs for them will be a good target for them. Playoffs, they won't finish. I don't think they'll get top two. I think it's between us, Burnley and Sheffield United for the top two spots. But Sunderland, if they finish in the top six, that'll be a good achievement for them. And, a good milestone for them to try and challenge for promotion again after a few years, outside the top six. And, they've not done the greatest recently, haven't they? But like I say, in the bottom of the league, Millwall, who, to be fair, if they go on a good run, they might finish in the top six. You never know with the Sky Bet Championship here. It's very, very, very hard to predict. But Millwall, obviously, Neil Harris decided to, end his spell and they replaced him with Alex Neil. And it'll be justice for Alex Neil because, to be fair, Alex Neil is a good manager for the Championship. And I don't understand why Stoke City sacked him. And now, they realise that they made the biggest mistake of their lives, to be fair, with Stoke City. Because, Stoke City are struggling down in the depths of relegation, potentially. But Coventry, obviously, Mark Robins was an absolute legend at that club. And he's been replaced by Frank Lampard. But will Frank Lampard get a good tune in with the players, and will he get him firing on all cylinders again? And other clubs that are struggling are Cardiff City. Are they a League One club? I think they are now. Last season, I thought they were going to get relegated, but to be fair, they overachieved what they did last season. But this season, I think they are where they should be, really. Sheffield Wednesday, hit and miss club, but I think they'll finish mid-table. QPR likewise, Swansea likewise, Plymouth, I fear for them. I really fear for them. Oxford, I think they'll be fine now that Gary Rowett's in charge. We'll have to see what he does in January, but so far so good. 2 wins on the bounce, and good factor, but obviously it's the new manager factor into it. But we'll see. But he's a good manager for Championship. But Plymouth, if there's any Plymouth fans watching this video, let me know in the comments. What do you actually think is wrong with your club? Do you think it's a mixture of ownership, players, like managing, or is it one or the other that is the problem? Do you think it's Waz's time to go, or would you want to see what he does in January? Or do you think he can't really do much in January because of the owners? Let me know in the comments. And like I say, we'll do Premier League. Overachieving so far is Nottingham Forest and Bournemouth. Underachieving, you've got to say it's Manchester United. But to be fair, I think Manchester United, if they get their act together, they could finish in the top 8, I think. But they need to get their act together sooner rather than later. In the Championship, overachieving is Sunderland, Blackburn and Watford. Underachieving, I would probably say it's Coventry and Stoke City. Let me know in the comments. And yes, let's go. Next video, I'll be doing the Premier League and the Championship again, but this time who is a realistic signing for each of the clubs. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe and comment the word legend. Thank you very much for your support. And don't worry, guys, if you don't like football, do not worry. It's not going to be always football content. I'm hoping to do travel content, etc. Thank you very much for your support and enjoy your night, your morning, your afternoon, whenever you're watching this video. Let's go.